May 14. 1097. The Siege of Nice, the Turkish capital of Solomon, Sultan of Raum, opened by the French Crusaders, whose camps formed an imperfect circle of more than 6 miles. 1501. Amerigo Vespucci sailed with 3 ships furnished him by Emmanuel of Portugal. This was his 3rd voyage, which he extended as far as Patagonia. 1602. Bartholomew Gosnold, after a passage of 7 weeks direct west from England, discovered land on the American coast, and fell in with a shallop with sails and oars, manned by Indians, with whom they had friendly intercourse. They are represented as naked, save near their waist sealskins tied fast like to Irish dimmy trousers, and the chief wore a few things of European fabric, described the coast with a piece of chalk, and spake diverse Christian words. Their vessel is supposed to have belonged to some wrecked fishermen of Biscay. 1610. Henry IV of France assassinated by Ravaillac. Above 50 historians and 500 panegyrists, poets and orators, have spoken in his praise. But the Henriade of Voltaire is the most likely to immortalize him. 1652. British Commodore Young fell in with a Dutch convoy, and demanded that according to an act of King John A.D. 1200 they should strike their flag to the British flag. This being refused, a severe action ensued, which ended in the Dutch flag being struck, after which they were permitted to proceed. 1667. Joan Henry Ursinus died, a Lutheran divine, eminent for his learning in sacred and profane history. 1692. Sir William Phipps arrived at Boston with the new charter by William and Mary, where he was received with great pomp, and conducted by the military, magistrates, ministers, and principal men of the country to the town house, where the charter was published. This charter included the whole of Old Massachusetts, Plymouth Colony, the provinces of Maine and Nova Scotia, the islands of Elizabeth, Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard, as the province of Massachusetts, of which Phipps was appointed governor. 1731. A final settlement was made of the boundary line between New York and Connecticut. 60,000 acres called the Oblong being ceded to New York in exchange for lands near the Sound. 1761. Thomas Simpson, an eminent English mathematician, died. He was a weaver in the lowest circumstances, who raised himself to distinction by close application to science. 1780. Peter Montan-Lebertin died, an eminent French musician, and manager of the operas at Paris. 1781. Lieutenant Col. Christopher Green, the conqueror of Count Dolnop and Major Flagg, surprised and murdered at Croton River by a party of refugees. 1785. Canal opened between the Baltic and North Seas. 1796. Vaccination for cowpox first applied by Drive Jenner. 1796. Bonaparte made his public entry into Milan under a triumphal arch. 1798. David Runcanius died, professor of Bell's Letters and History, and librarian in the University at Leiden, and a learned and able critic. 1805. Robert Bisset died, a Scottish historian, biographer, and novelist. 1810. Lerida, in Spain, surrendered to the French General Suchet, who found large quantities of stores. Same day, Catalonians defeated the French, whose losses, stated at 45,000, and that of the Catalonians 25,000. 1814. British fleet on Lake Champlain commenced a heavy cannonade on the American batteries under Colonel Davis, at the mouth of Otter Creek. The British were compelled to retreat. 1814. French defeated at Madrid by Lord Wellington. 1814. Spanish squadron belonging to Montevideo, defeated by the Buenos Aires squadron under Com. Brown. 1820. Henry Grattan, an Irish statesman, died. He warmly espoused the interests of his country, and many important measures were effected by his eloquence. 1826. State prison at Sing Sing, New York, commenced.